Let's see which items are being bought by the two teams, starting with the blue team. We have a Corruption Potion and Hunter's Talisman for the Gragas. Normal start so far. We have the Doran's Ring starting from the Victor, Doran's Blade starting from the Jinx, and the Stealthy Edge going for this Nami that is going to be slowing down the enemy more than she already can. On the other side, we have normal start as well. Interestingly enough, maybe Olaf has started with the Doran's Blade. Many people start with the Doran's Shield as well because, well, Olaf at the start doesn't tank too much, especially. So many people prefer going on the defense at the start and then going all aggressive. But, well, the Doran's Blade doesn't seem to be that bad still. Under a Talisman for these Hecarim, so pretty interestingly passive here. Instead of going for the Maxete, he's going for the Talisman. But well, Hecarim works better as long as he has enough mana, so I do trust that's for the best. Then we have the Doran's Ring on Anivia, the Doran's Blade on Sivir, and the Ancient Coin on the Soraka that is going so to get a bonus speed for the team instead of going for the slowdown on the enemy. A normal choice so far, since the Ancient Coin has been changed recently, giving more base mana regeneration, and even that cooldown reduction that is pretty important. A pretty passive start, we can see, with the Gragas starting from the top lane side, taking the blue instead and the red first. Got some from Irelia, but interestingly enough, we have Jinx and Nami that didn't get the golem, so it's a really passive start here. Quite aggressive in the bottom lane side. We have Sivir going down to 100 health. Needs to be really, she needs to be really careful about this. Meanwhile, in the top lane side, we can see, as I say, that the Olaf is really annoying for an Irelia because simply Irelia is so behind Olaf's style. Olaf's most powerful spells are not only his abilities but even the basic attacks, and for an Irelia that is a good trade at the start becomes a really bad trade simply because Olaf deals too much damage the moment Irelia tries to get close. Irelia mostly like goes on the enemy, starts dealing damage and then goes back and keeps on going like this, but Olaf is too much punishing. It's not as simple. Gragas getting around with a little bit of health. He still should be able to take down the golems without any problems, but who knows. Meanwhile, Hecarim just took the red and is going to the golems by the top lane side. It's pretty interesting to see how passive they are doing. Gragas is risking a lot on the golems, but still manages to take them down and now goes on red. So he'll back up pretty soon. First Drake, it's going to be a Cloud Drake. A Cloud Drake, it's important in my opinion. Many say that it isn't that important, a Cloud Drake, but I would really kill them because a Cloud Drake gives so much bonus speed that at a certain point it's like you have a Sever's ultimate permanently. At the third Cloud Drake, it becomes so fast, you become so fast that it's impossible to be able to catch you with any means. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane side, some exchange of damage. Nami without any possibility of using spells because with no mana, and Exhaust is used on the Sever. So first summoner spell out. Sever is still behind, or this is down on health. Under the 200 health, she risks a lot. Now Olaf exchanging a little with Irelia, but there you go. What I said before, Irelia is pretty strong on the fast exchanges. And since Olaf has no mana as well, for Irelia it's pretty good to exchange with him. Hecarim by the bottom lane side, but was spotted instantly by the nice trinket placed right beside the river side. And meanwhile we have this Gragas going to counter jungle a little, exploring the red side of the Akram's jungle lane. He doesn't expect a thing, but he needs to be fast because he hasn't taken down the camp yet, and Akram is getting close. But he manages to get out. And here comes the advantage of this Gragas. He has one level more, but he has Akram behind. Does he really want to engage on this uneven? He manages to stun her. Victor uses his Q, but oh! And even with with 10 health, manages to do not even use the passive. Victor, with that only Q that he managed to use, and the flash to use by this Anivia, now it's important because she still has the passive, and that's good for her. The only problem is that she was forced to use the flash to get away, and she got really lucky there. But let's remember, Anivia's passive always gets you with that little of surprise. Teleport used by Anivia herself to get back into the middle lane, and same is done by the Victor. Some wards placing around, and the purple trinket is placed pretty close to the river side by Anivia herself. There is quite a warding by this Gragas nearby the dragon side, or at least he managed to take the crumb and place a ward as well. He wants to make sure that Akram is not going to try and sneak this dragon. Top lane seems to be pretty passive so far, or at least Irelia usually plays more aggressively, but obviously in this situation she cannot allow that. 44 minions for both, and that's a really interestingly passive situation there by the top lane side. Gragas in the jungle is keeping himself up with the farm, and he has, let's remember, one level higher than this Akram, so it's important for him to keep this advantage. There you go, Olaf going aggressive on Irelia. He can this time. Ragnar goes out and Irelia cannot stop him. She can take down some minions with her ultimate to get some health back. But the damage from the Olaf, it's quite high. And I don't know how much the ultimate can actually heal this Irelia to keep up with the damage. Risked a lot, played pretty good decision to use the ultimate not only on Olaf but even aiming at the minions so she can heal up as much as she could. But she cannot trade. She cannot totally trade with this Olaf. It's a pretty one-sided situation for her at this time. We're trying to keep up with this Jinx that is playing pretty aggressively, even thanks to the Nami that it's doing a pretty good job on backing her up. With Jinx and the empowered basic attacks from the Nami's E, it's really good for them in the laning phase, especially because Sivir can parry spells but cannot parry basic attacks, even if empowered. And even a really bad spot there, ultimate going down for this Victor. She is forced into the egg form. She doesn't manage to get outside from it, especially because the Gragas was already there. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane side, the bubble gets this Xavier, but not the Tsunami because the stealth shield was out. And so no engage by the bottom lane side, but the middle lane side, we have the first block going into the Gragas' hands with the assist of this Victor that dealt so much damage at only one. It was so awesome. Meanwhile, by the top lane side, Irelia is going aggressing on Olaf because he has no ultimate, or sorry, he has no mana at all to be able to use any spell, or at least to not spam them. And he knows that, so he needs to go back, recover a little mana, and then go back into the laning phase. Thanks to the minion pushing there, he can even allow himself to walk there, so teleport is still up. Oh, we have an engage by the bottom lane side. The rush from the Zachary is huge, but he doesn't manage to bring back anyone. The heal coming out for the Jinx that is taking aim on to Seaver, now turning on Akari, but the heal from this rock is too much. They might not be able to turn back or at least take any kill, but this Jinx was really dominating in a 3-on-2. Or even a 3-on-1 actually, because Nemi was with 100 health. She kept herself in a really safe position, trying to not get too close to the Sivir especially. That's even lucky there, I do trust, because Akarin could try and pressure a little more. Just one basic attack was going to be enough, but the moment they went a lot under the tower, they decided to not do anything else. Meanwhile, by the top lane, Gragas trying to slow down a little this Olaf and forces him actually to go into the Ragnarok mode. So, nice trade there. Meanwhile, Jinx chasing down this Soraka, slowing her down with the basic attacks empowered by Nami, but currently doesn't deal too much damage. Even if a BF sword was bought by both Jinx and Sevier, their actual damage still needs to really come out. Ekarim at level 7, while Gragas at level 8. We can see that Gragas' job at the jungle was a little further than the one that Ekarim did. And so the advantage is small, but you can feel it, especially during those engages. Ekarim's level is so behind that he cannot even allow too much to go, especially in the middle side, where this victory is at level 10. And with a Victor so high on damage, I do trust that even a gank might result in a death for the red team instead of just a death for the blue team. Arena by the top lane side is doing pretty good against the Olaf, thanks to Gragas going there a few seconds ago. Olaf hasn't got the ultimate yet. The engage by the Zakarim on the Victor, but the flash comes out and so the wall doesn't stop him, sorry. Meanwhile, by the top lane side, some exchange by Aurelia onto the Olaf that has one level behind, so he cannot afford to really engage recklessly on Aurelia. But the most important thing we can see on the minimap as well is how much Gragas is warding the enemy jungle. He is practically dominating it. Another engage by Aurelia using the ultimate. Wow, the damage comes out and it's a lot, and the ultimate goes out from Gragas to support her just to do some damage, and the last basic attack takes the kill for Aurelia. Nicely done by Aurelia by the top lane. Olaf spent too much time deciding to play passively and he got caught off guard there. Too easy for Aurelia to take him down. And advantage slowly goes up for the blue team. 21,000 gold against 19. So it's a pretty decent advantage at the 14th minute. By the bottom lane side now, everything seems to be pretty calm. We have a Jinx that with our current pace is keeping Seager really behind. Or at least not too much, but still a little behind. That behind enough to be able to not let her do what she wants. But there is to say that most of this is because of the Soraka's pick.